with us live in Hollis, New Hampshire. We're going to get right back to our questions. And Carson has one that came in online. Carson, what's the question?
Savannah, here we go. Coming in from Facebook, Randy asking, do you think you have what it takes to take on the Trump, and are you ready for the insults?
I can't hear that one.
The question is, do you think you have what it takes to take on the Trump, and are you ready for the insults?
Well, as you might have noticed, I'm kind of used to being insulted, so, and he's had his fair share of insults about me, and you know what? What's important is what's happening in your lives. What's important is all these questions you have on your minds about how we raise incomes and afford college and make it, you know, possible for people to once again feel like they're succeeding in America, that basic bargain. So I've said if he gets the nomination, I'm looking forward to meeting him on that debate stage.
All right, Willie, you've got a question.
Yes, Secretary Clinton, we have a veteran of the United States military, William Hopkins, an independent, married with 2 kids. What's your question, sir?
Secretary Clinton, it's a bit of a long question. I'll probably mess it up. I've been practicing for a while. Excuse me, do you mind if I read it?
No, go right ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the core of the question?
Secretary Clinton, I served in Iraq as an Army infantryman in 2004 and 2005. I lost friends a year of my life, and I suspect I'll be coping with the experience as long as I live. You gave a rather famous, rousing speech in support of the War Powers Act, which allowed President Bush to go into Iraq. Given your history and your close ties to elements within the military-industrial complex, what assurances can you provide that companies and individuals who profit from war and militarism will not have undue influence in the Clinton administration?
You know, that's really an important question for everybody running for president, William, and I appreciate it, and I also appreciate, you know, your service, and I'm well aware that you and now millions of Americans who have served are going to be living with the consequences of that. I've said my vote to give Bush the authority was a mistake. I misjudged what he would do with it, and I am very regrettable. It's very regrettable about that. And so I am probably much more wary and prepared to say no, because I saw what was done with a vote I gave a president, so I will be even more cautious. I believe in diplomacy. That's why I worked so hard to put together the coalition to get Iran to the negotiating table, while you hear other voices, you know, saying, no, we need to go to war. Absolutely not. I'm with, you know, Winston Churchill. Talking is always better than going to war. And with my 4 years of experience in the State Department, I have a very clear idea of how we try to solve problems and how we work to bring people together around American values and interests, and that's what I'll do.
Let me ask you something about that. You recently called for a no-fly zone over Syria. President Obama has not done that so far. He was asked about your position on Friday, and he said there's a difference between running for president and being president. What do you make of that?
Well, look, I know that, and I have said repeatedly that when you're in that situation room, as I was many, many times, and you bear the full weight of the choice you're about to make, you have to be very sure and very careful. What I was advocating was putting together a coalition of those countries that have a real stake in trying to prevent this flood of refugees and trying to find safe spaces so people can actually stay in their homes. And I know it's complicated, but I think we should be, number one, looking for a diplomatic solution to end the conflict, remove Assad, who is really one of the major reasons why the conflict is going on, and seek a diplomatic solution. And I think trying to provide some safe areas for people, which from my reading cannot be done unless we get everybody together to try to patrol the skies, is going to be very difficult. So that's why I said I think we should start looking for that.
Sorry, the fly was not invited to this. Willie's got another question.
Okay, one more question, sir. What's your question for Secretary Clinton?
Hi, Secretary Clinton. My question is, what is your favorite book?
Oh my gosh, my favorite book. Well, probably Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, because I read it when I was young and I was just overwhelmed by it. And then I kind of read it, you know, like every 10 years or so since, because it's such an amazing story about, you know, faith and how people, you know, have to think about what they believe in on earth to try to get along with each other, and whether they have any faith that will rein in their behavior and make them treat people better. I think it's a constant, theme that I'm always reflecting on, because I always wonder, why are there people like Assad in Syria who are barrel bombing his people, killing women and children with no thought at all? To me, it's just such a continuing challenge of human nature. So I like to, delve in and out of that from time to time.
Thank you.
Let's go to Carson. He's got a few more questions from our Orange Room. Hey, Carson.
Hey, guys. This one coming in on Facebook from Sheila asking, hypothetically speaking, would you consider a vice president position?
It says, hypothetically speaking, would you consider a vice president position?
Hypothetically speaking, no.
Secretary Clinton, would you consider a female running mate on your ticket?
I would consider the qualified people, of whom we have, thankfully, a large number in the Democratic Party, because the most important choice is, if something happens to the president, do you have full confidence that that person will step right in and do a great job for the country? That's the most important thing to me, and it doesn't matter who that person is if that's what I believe about him or her.
I think you've said your husband is not eligible.
No, he's not.
Okay. Secretary Clinton will be with us for just a few more minutes. We're back in a moment, but first, this is Today on NBC.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.